What's happening, everybody? Jeff Lightsy Jr. here with the Black Boss channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload all the time. Now, EA Sports has announced that they are dropping a college football game. It's returning. College football games have not been created since 2013. Now, if you don't remember, EA Sports and the NCAA was hit with a big lawsuit led by Ed O'Bannon back around that time. And they were like, hey, you guys are using our name, image, and likeness, and we're not seeing a dollar from it, right? Like, you guys have our jersey numbers, our heights, our weights, all in these video games. Whether it's college football by EA Sports, college basketball by EA Sports, and we're not seeing a dime from that, right? Because the players in college sports, obviously, as we know, aren't allowed to get paid for stuff like that, right? So they're not allowed to get paid off their name, image, and likeness. Ed O'Bannon, he was the lead complainant on the lawsuit, and EA Sports didn't want nothing to do with that. They said, here's $60 million or $65 million. They was like, we're going to settle out of court, and we're just going to stop creating the games. No more college hoops, no more college football. And their last one was created back in 2013 with Denard Robinson on the cover, NCAA 14, college football. Now, it looks like after years and years, they finally have decided to return. This is something that fans in the video game world have been clamoring for, have been waiting for. When was college football? Because it was, quite honestly, it was the best game EA Sports created. It was better than Madden. It was better than NBA Live. It was better than every single, it was better than every video game out there. It was better than the 2K and the stuff they have going on. Like, it was the best game out. Then you had the dynasty mode you could create. I could go on. That's beside the point. The point is, so with it returning, remember they got how they messed up the first time. They went years and years without paying the players. So will they be paying the players this time? Because that's what matters to me. I mean, to the video game people, the video game community, and I was during that time, I was in the video game community. Honestly, I don't want to contribute NCAA football not returning to the reason why I stopped playing video games. I think I just grew up. But it was around that time, around the 2012, 2011 time, right around 2013 is when I stopped playing video games. And it might be some part because they stopped creating those. But anyway, will the players get paid? That's what matters. That's all we care about. The initial answer that I'm going to tell you is no. And why am I telling you no? It's because of what they've said. I'm going to read you some of the article published by ESPN about the return of EA Sports and the NCAA football game. So here is what the president of EA Sports said. Let me make sure I'm reading all of this right. So, see, after making a college football game, after last making a college football game in 2013, the possibility of the game returning had been in limbo. Now it isn't. Daryl Holt, EA Sports vice president and general manager, told ESPN the game maker will continue to space with EA Sports college football. So it's coming back. And this is a quote. As we look at the momentum that we're building in sports, it all starts with the passion of our fans and the opportunities of what they are interested in. Holt said, I don't think there's a visit where I go outside wearing a piece of EA Sports branded apparel and someone doesn't go, hey, when is college football coming back? So he continues to say, to make the game happen, EA Sports partnered with collegiate licensing company CLC to make sure it had the FBS school traditions, uniforms, playbooks, among other things, ready to go for the game. Over 100 teams will be in the game. So all of that sounds good. But where's the money? All that sounds good. But it sounds like CLC is getting paid. Maybe the schools are getting paid. Where's the money? Here we go. For now, EA Sports is planning to move forward, this is the key, without rosters that include the names, image, or likeness of real college players. Current NCAA rules prohibit athletes from selling their name, image, and likeness rights in college. That's why I'm saying the players aren't getting paid. Let's read it again. For now, EA Sports is planning to move forward without rosters that include the name, image, or likeness of real college players. Current NCAA rules prohibit athletes from selling their name, image, and likeness. However, those rules are likely to be changed at some point in the coming year by the NCAA state legislature or Congress. It is not yet clear whether the evolving rules will allow for the kind of group licensing arrangements that would be needed for EA Sports to negotiate with athletes to use their names in the game. So here's my thoughts. Here's my thoughts. And just try to wrap this up, make this clear because I've already kept you really long. So initially, the game is not coming out for a few years. Holt already said it won't come out this year. Video games take a while to create, especially when you haven't created this style of game in a very long time. Now you're like, well, EA Sports make Madden. It should be able to load that stuff up. And no, it's not how it works because Madden has been getting trashed for years, right? They don't want to screw this up. They have a lot of momentum. You should have seen the tweets on my timeline today about all the people that are excited about the return of college football. But EA Sports ain't trying to get sued again. They had to drop $65 million last time they did this. And they're like, and that's why they washed their hands away with it. By the time they created, it'll be a whole decade. They like, we ain't going through that again. We're trying to get this right the first time. What's going to happen, I think, they're going to create a game, like they said, very basic, very generic, like say if your quarterback is Lamar Jackson, right? Like say if I'm playing with Louisville and your quarterback's Lamar Jackson 6'2" or 6'3", 215 pounds, and would be like a 95 speed on Madden. They might make the quarterback 6'6", 240, might make him light skinned, no plats, no nothing, and might make him an 84 speed. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna do drastic changes to assure that they do not get sued. Now, by the second game, what I think is going to happen, because the NCAA is realizing, hey, we got to get with the times. Players are now starting in Florida. I think this year, Florida will allow their college athletes to get paid using their name, image, and likeness. And once one state does it, the NCAA has to open it up for everybody because it's a competitive advantage. Because I can go to University of Florida, or I can go to Florida State, or I can go to UCF or Florida Gulf Coast or whatever and get paid to be me, right? Sign my name or whatever, get paid. That can't happen in one spot, not everywhere. So everywhere is going to adjust. But I think and so I might be wrong. EA Sports might just be waiting for that to play out and then just pay the players who want to get their stuff used and go out there and do that. But I don't think they'll do that on the initial game. I think the initial game, they'll make it very generic, right? Very generic, so they can cover the tails. And then by the second game, we'll see players from everywhere, all 100, 130 teams or whatever that signed up to be a part of the game. They'll pay the individual players depending on who you are and what you can negotiate. Play them a small percentage or a small fee to get in the game. I think the players more so are going to be more happy just to be able to play with themselves on the video game more so than get paid. I don't think there's going to be a whole bunch of players out here cashing out on their services by being put in EA Sports video game. I think they're just going to be happy with the opportunity because honestly, it's a marketing tool. You get to play on Saturdays, you get to play in front of 100,000 fans every week, and then when the fans go home, they get to play with you on a video game. It's a marketing tool. It's a great marketing tool, especially for the HBCUs. What Deion Sanders is doing, and then to add this is only adding momentum. Shout out to HBCU, shout out to Jackson State and all the rest of them. So I think that's what's going to happen. And the reason why they'll be able to get away with it the first year, the reason why they will be able to get away with that the first year is like, Jeff, why in the hell would anybody buy that if they screw up all the stuff and nobody's going to want to play with a Lamar Jackson that's not Lamar Jackson? That is true. But what happens is, and what's been happening since they stopped creating them back in 2013, is that there's these guys, right, that sit home and create every player on every roster. They scan every roster in FBS and even the ones in like HBCUs now because they're going to have to feature the HBCUs now. We ain't getting left out no more. Every roster on the HBCUs, all 30 FBS teams, and they literally create them themselves and upload them to the internet. And so guys like me and you can go download it for free. It takes, I've read that it takes an estimate of 25 hours to create the right size, speed, height, whatever of every player on every roster. It takes 25 hours per team. It takes 25 hours per team. There's 130 FBS teams. And there are still guys that go out and do that and have been doing that for the last 8 years. They've been doing it since 2013. We're in 2021. They've been doing it and updating the 2014 version of the game. They've just been updating and people can download it. That sounds crazy, but it's the truth. And that's why EA Sports, they know this. They're not dumb. They know that guys are at home doing this. Call them nerds, call them smart, call them geniuses, whatever you want to call them. They know that people are out there doing it, and they know they'll be able to get away with it for at least 1 year of them doing that while they get all the paperwork and all the stuff ready for the name, image, and likeness that the NCAA is going to have to allow to take place moving forward. So it's crazy. So are they going to get paid initially? No, but eventually the answer is yes. They will get paid. The players will get paid because EA Sports can't afford to get sued no more. They can't. They don't want to. Nobody likes getting sued. It's just stupid. I think settled for $65 million last time. Ain't trying to do that again. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. EA Sports is coming back out with a college football game. Will the players get paid? Initially, no. I think this is just me. My assumption is me not talking to anyone. Initially, no, I think. But eventually, yes, they will. That's it for me. Once again, I'm Jeff Lightsy Jr. at the Black Boss Channel. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time.